Wolnir's theme isn't as over the top as Vort's, but what it loses in size it makes up for in atmosphere. The theme of the High King is one filled with dread. You're dragged into the abyss and planted face to face with a gargantuan skeleton who is hell-bent on backing you up against a wall. Meanwhile, you face the very real threat of being dragged deeper into the abyss by his fog yourself. This theme does an excellent job of encapsulating that horror and anxiety of facing such a foe in such a terrifying environment, and the wailing tones of the choir really do make it seem like you're going to die. Good theme. This is the theme that took the boss's name to heart. The Osiris theme conveys king and consumed/corrupted very, very well. Extremely well. It's elegant, it's regal, mysterious, and sorrowful all at once. The quiet tone of the opening notes may exist so as not to drown out his dialogue, but they also do a fine job of creating a sense of unease and shock. Walking into a boss room in Dark Souls 3 and not being met with loud instruments and a choir is very odd, to say the least, and it makes you pay attention to what's going on. As Osiris moves on to his phase 2, the song picks up, sounding much more like the boss themes we're used to, but with an added dash of mourning tossed in there. Some kind of sorrow, almost as if the song is grieving the passing of the king himself, mourning his fall. It's a very pretty theme that almost breaks your heart. This theme starts off beautifully, the vocals creating a mood akin to that of horror. Think about it, if you thought you would kill the last of demonkind, wouldn't you be scared to suddenly be trapped in a room with two other massive demons? The first phase is almost entirely made up of the choir and some low notes to really sell the tension, with the occasional string here or bell there to keep you hooked. Phase 2 of this fight starts off as legitimately terrifying, as the female choir that rings out comes very suddenly and sounds as if it's made up of children, actually. Then, the choir explodes into action and embraces the awe of seeing the Prince of Demons rise up before you, not ready to die just yet. The strings become more pronounced, and the song puts you in this dance of melodies that makes you feel insignificant next to this regal being. A great piece, to be sure. This theme would have been much higher if the dancer's footsteps were actually part of the song. This song is graceful, distant, and ominous. It's what you'd expect to hear in a dark fantasy when viewing something beautiful yet dangerous from afar. Perfect for the dancer. The female choir is very gentle in the first phase, heightening the beauty of this fight, until it very suddenly explodes into phase 2, with the strings growing much louder and the choir no longer focusing on Dancer's beauty but her beastly nature. Dancer was tormented by Sullivan and sent to fight you like a dog. The song helps capture that mood of watching something so gorgeous, so beautiful act so viciously. Probably the most fitting theme for its boss in the entire game, to be completely honest. Speaking of the Pontiff, Sullivan's theme is disgusting to listen to. Not because it sounds bad, but because it spends the entire first phase jacking the Pontiff off. The regal, almost transcendent beginning illustrates Sullivan's viewpoint of himself. He thinks that he's a god. No, better than a god. The slow and gentle tone of the vocals, along with the occasional string, really does its best to paint Sullivan as some kind of martyr or saint. It's not until phase 2 kicks in, the true nature of the man also kicks in. Suddenly, those strings become much more pronounced, the percussion looms up and crashes over and over and over in this extremely grotesque manner, and the choir dons some male voices that completely murder the serene tone of phase 1. Sullivan is a monster, a horrible, vile man that has effectively caused the death of countless lives and the ruination of the very kingdom of Lothric. Phase 2 reminds you of this, and oh boy does it do it well. Ugh, what a heartbreaking theme. While you might hear Yorm's theme and only detect the raw power and magnificence of such a giant, a deeper listen will let you latch on to those sorrowful female voices in the backdrop. Because that's what this fight is, a facade. Yorm has no want to kill you, but he also has no desire to see the flame rekindled, as the flame is what caused the death of his kingdom. Yorm's love for his people caused him to try and use the profane flame to aid them, but his brashness caused the destruction of his kingdom, killing all of his subjects. This theme, much like this fight, on the surface is a very powerful and triumphant experience that emphasizes the grandiose of fighting a towering giant. But the real purpose is to mourn the profaned captive, to mourn Yorm, to mourn Sigurd. Powerful. While this theme isn't as thematically fantastic as Sullivan's or as emotionally charged as Yorm's, the church bells and ominous choir just do it for me. I love this kind of stuff. This theme does do a very good job of making the deacons seem creepy and helps capture the mood of the church, but that's not why it's here. It's here purely just because I love the way it sounds. Honestly, I wish Aldrich's theme was a remix of this theme rather than a remix of Gwendolyn's, seeing as how Aldrich used to be part of the Deacons of the Deep. This song just emanates power and brute strength. It's not here to do anything but make you look in awe at the sheer dominance of the armor. And man, oh man, does it deliver. This theme is just epic. It's loud, it's proud, it's bombastic, and it's fantastic. I feel like I'm repeating myself here, but that choir and those strings really sell the magnificence here. However, it's the drums in this song that really say power. So it's nice to see a theme that there's a little bit more reliance on its percussion